Hey there, class. Let's talk about techniques commonly used in visual merchandising. In this chapter, we will review the different concepts and techniques used in window displays to attract consumers. Visual merchandisers utilize various techniques to create attention-grabbing displays. Merchandisers may adopt a number of techniques to be known as their signature. The various techniques include color and texture, lighting, line and composition, scale and proportion, contrast, repetition and harmony, humor, nostalgia, motion, surprise and shock, fantasy and surrealism, and props. Color. As a refresher from previous chapters, shoppers see color first before anything else. It is what gains their attention and attracts them to the item. A shopper makes a decision regarding color in less than 90 seconds after seeing the item. Color can signify a theme, or it can tell the story for a concept. Lighting. Effective display lighting can draw the eye and direct it towards the merchandise. Line and composition. Followed by color and lighting is line and composition. The different types of lines include vertical, horizontal, curved, and diagonal. They each make a different suggestion and can be used to gain the eye's attention. Composition is the arrangement of different elements to achieve unity. Together, line and composition can lead the eye around a display. The shopper's attention is brought to the entire display as well as each of its parts. Scale is a change in proportion and an abnormal size in relationship. The exaggerated size difference makes for an intriguing display. In this image, the men tugging at the rope make the jewelry appear much larger. Contrast uses light and color to give a jolt and attract attention. A stark contrast grabs attention and is satisfying. A classic example of contrast is the use of black and white, or in this image, the use of red. Repetition builds visual intensity by multiplying the number of times an object that shares the same or similar likeness is repeated. This creates impact and places emphasis on the particular item. Repetition can be applied using mannequins, merchandise, props, and decorative objects. The luggage in this image is repeated 3 times over, creating repetition. The bodice dress forms in the same pose also create repetition. Humor. People enjoy humor. It is what makes life a bit lighter and more a breeze to navigate. Humor embodies the element of surprise. And something humorous is something unexpected that makes people chuckle. Humorous displays should never offend and should be quick and simple to understand. Nostalgic props take us back to a time when things were different, good, and simpler. The shopper is taken back in time to the good old days or the golden days. This technique generally is derived around a time period. Motion or movement will gain attention. However, it must be used wisely as to not become a disturbance and draw the shopper away from the merchandise. The purpose of motion is to draw a shopper closer to the window for further observation of the merchandise. Motion does not always have to be created using objects that actually move. It can also be created by the illusion of movement. Surprise and shock. The element of surprise can be fun. It can also be surreal or a bit of fantasy. Shock should be used sparingly as it goes beyond the element of surprise and could be upsetting to the shopper if it's not utilized appropriately. Props. Props add depth to the display's storyline and breathe life into the presentation. Props have an industry of their own that is dedicated to the design, production, and sourcing of props and decoratives. Props can be bought, rented, borrowed, or improvised using what is on hand. While a merchandiser can purchase props from a prop and decorative house, they can also find props at local stores such as consignment shops, antique stores, flea markets, and travel offices. All right, we'll chat more in the next lecture.